Hey, what's going on, my friends, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor, and today I'm going to share with you 5 things I think you should know about the powerful super full moon / full lunar eclipse we have here on May 26th, 2021. Number 1, it's a time of a big expansion in your physical reality. Your day-to-day life is changing / upgrading on a massive level right now. It reminds me of my good buddy. He's a real close friend of mine, and he grew up in the same location for his whole life, Las Vegas. He was born and raised in Las Vegas. He's traveled around a little bit. The last couple of years, he's been going through a lot of changes. He's been stuck on a relationship. He's been doing a lot of inner work. And he's been doing a lot of things, kind of getting ready, building up for this new life, this new expansion, this new version of himself, these new reflections in his life. But it's been kind of a long, drawn out, up and down sort of internal process that I'm sure many of you can relate to. Well, as of recently, he's felt this calling, this intuition. He should go check out Austin, Texas. And he doesn't know why. He's never been there. He's heard a couple of things, watched a couple of YouTube videos, but he's got this feeling that there's something for him in Austin. The idea of him going to Austin just resonated. Well, he's been in Austin these last couple of days, and I've been talking to him, and just hearing the way he's describing it, it's like stepping into a brand new reality, a whole new world, a whole new vibe, different types of people, just this massive opening of all these potential new experiences that can come in and are coming in because he's done the inner work. He's made the inner shifts just like you. And for a time it might have seemed like where is this going? All these ups and downs, all these plummets into my shadow, all these healings and epiphanies, and you know how it is. This shadow work, up and downy, twisty and turny journey can take you for a ride. And there's a time where you wonder, like, how long is this going to take? When is it going to pay off? What I'm telling you right now, this time, this full moon, this eclipse signifies things starting to pay off. Not just on an internal level anymore, but on an external level. There's just a grand opportunity, if you can find the courage to go for it, to really step into something new, something fresh, something just abundant with opportunity for many on many levels, new reflections, relationships, careers, abundance, day-to-day types of things can all start coming in that have been waiting for the real you to step on board, and here you are. You've done the work, and it's time to step into the new. Number 2, parallel to this, I wrote down getting used to the new. Sometimes the new, even if it's things we wanted, even if it's things that excite us and expand us and fill us with joy and bliss and yada yada, it can be uncomfortable because it's so new, because it's so unfamiliar, because oftentimes stepping into the new requires us step up into like a new level of ourselves, of our personal development, of our mastery, a new level of responsibility. There can feel like there's a big weight on your shoulders as you step into the new. Sometimes things can get so good that we're afraid we're going to lose it. So we sabotage, and it can be this whole process of allowing ourselves to let in the new. It reminds me a lot of when I first did my first spiritual retreat a few years ago. I felt this guidance to stop doing so much one-on-one coaching and start working with groups of people in person. And the idea resonated. The idea excited me. It was a death period, a period of letting go of the coaching, letting go of this familiar, comfortable situation. And I finally stepped into the new, and I ran my first retreat. And it was scary. I've never done retreats before. It was bigger than I was used to. It required just a higher level of me staying on my A game, because now there's more at stake. There are people who flew from all over the world to see me because I said I can help them. So the pressure, the responsibility, it was intense. It was uncomfortable. I had many, kinks in the hose to unkink, many, learning curves. But the depth of reward, the depth of transformation I witnessed, the depth of satisfaction I felt was just, I still can't even put it into words how happy I am running retreats. But it wasn't like that in the beginning. It took some getting used to. Simultaneously to all this stepping into the new and adjusting you might be going through, because the energies are at like an all-time high in frequency, potency, ability to get at you deeply. Parallel to all of this, you might be finding some of your deepest, most repressed traumas and fears are finally being like unlocked within yourself, bubbling up to the surface of your subconscious and your conscious mind. In the beginning, for a lot of us, it will result in like synchronicities that we don't understand, dreams that have a certain heaviness quality, but we don't understand, and just feelings. So as you're stepping into the new, alongside of just the inevitable nerves and getting used to the newness and responsibility, there might be parallel also some of your deepest, darkest like traumas and stuff like that coming up to the surface. And this is positive because it allows you to be free of that. But it can also make things very confusing. Sometimes as these deeply repressed fears and anxieties and traumas for a lot of us come up to the surface, we don't understand them and we make the mistake of projecting them into our external life. And it can make it seem like there's a cause for concern, like, oh my goodness, why is this happening? Or this could potentially happen. And all it really is just the releasing of old energy temporarily influencing your perception on your current reality. So just so you know, if this happens, it's okay. I've been going through it a lot with myself. As I mentioned, years ago when I was 9, I was hit by a firecracker, a huge one that goes up into the sky and lights it up and explodes. It's loud. It's a kind that keeps you up at night if your neighbors are blowing them off. And it literally shot directly at me and it hit me. It exploded onto me. And I don't have a memory of it. I know it happened. I remember what happened after, but I have no actual memory of the impact until now. It's starting to come up. There's a part of me that dealt with the shock of an unexpected, challenging impact into my life. And I'm finding myself projecting that sort of weariness, anxiety, lack of trust into relationships, into everyday, ordinary living situations. But fortunately, I've been through this type of healing cycle before, and I know what it's about. And I've learned that, you know what? You can always take a breath. You can always look around and say, okay, right now, I might be feeling these feelings, but I'm sitting here talking to a camera. I'm talking to cool people that watch me on YouTube. The fountain soothing me behind me. My feet are planted on the earth. It's a sunny day. There's nothing happening right now. And just that simple, sort of commonsensical bringing oneself grounded back into reality can allow for these energies to come and pass through you without messing with you all that much. Right now, and this is sort of common for eclipse and full moon energy, but you might be feeling like, or really actually experiencing life moving. I wrote down lightning fast. So many things happening at once. It can be overwhelming. It can be impossible to mentally keep a grasp on. For example, case in point, there's like 6 people at my house right now working, doing different things. We got air conditioner folks up on top of my roof. I can see them right now. Our air conditioning's been out in the summer of Sedona. We have other people working on this fireplace we're having put in. The house is torn apart. My wife is scrambling around with the kids. Here I am shooting a video. So that's just sort of an example of like how many things might be going on in your life all at one time. And for a lot of you, it very well likely is more important things than just, this is sort of a silly example I gave, but it can be like your job is shifting dramatically. You're not sure where you're going to live. Your relationships are in flux. You don't even know who you are anymore. There's so many changes going down, and you feel like you're being thrust forward into the new that makes you uncomfortable faster than you can really assimilate. And it can just feel like you're in this, like, we've been in this river, just going down the river, and all of a sudden it's speeding up, and it's speeding up, and you can hear the waterfall coming and it's approaching. You don't know what the waterfall means. It's just this feeling of intense acceleration forward. And it can be very ungrounding. It can be very unnerving. And it can make you feel like, gee, I hope I'm making the right choices, because I'm going somewhere, and I'm very quickly sort of solidifying myself on this new timeline, on this new path, and I sure hope it's the right one. Number 5, as this acceleration is ensuing on all the levels I mentioned, you might also find you're getting less guidance, less synchronicity, maybe not less synchronicity, but less clear spiritual guidance than you're used to. Why is that? When all this is going down in your life, when you feel like you might need it the most, where are your spirit guides? Nowhere to be found. Where's your higher self? Where's that part of you that just knows the right step to take? It's not there, and there's a good reason for it. And the reason is, you don't need it. The whole time, all this external validation you may have needed has always been a reflection of you. You are enough. Now it's not a matter of what's the right move, as if there's a wrong one. It's more about you have become, maybe to your own surprise, you've become and transformed into already a conscious, empowered being, capable of making choices. There is no right, there is no wrong. There are choices that you, this new empowered being, can make. And you don't need all the flash and flare, the glitz of the spirit guides coming in and telling you what to do. You no longer need to be led from anything outside of yourself. You contain everything you need within yourself. And that's both excellent and also, like I said, a little bit scary. Sort of case in point, back to earlier when I was talking about the new. This is one of the new things. This is one of the new things. You standing on your own 2 feet, making choices as best you can, having faith not in the divine, not in the external, but having faith in yourself. Having faith in yourself to make the best choice. Having faith in yourself to modify if need be. It's an exciting time, my friends, an exciting time of just a leveling up personally and also in our life. And parallel to that, assimilating to this new level of empowerment, this new level of goodness that we worked so hard for. Now it's a matter of like, how can I enjoy this? How can I be present with it? How can I trust it? And that's what we're learning right now with this eclipse. And before I go, I want to share with you another thing, a 6th point, if you will, more like a word of the wise that I'm applying myself. It's patience. Patience for yourself. We're going through a lot. We're transforming a lot very quickly. Have patience. If you find yourself running to the junk food cabinet once in a while, you find yourself, losing your zen state here and there. Okay, most of us are doing that if we're honest. Have patience also, equally important, for other people. The other day, we were sitting in my hot tub and we heard this neighbor, like way back, like far away in our back, behind the back of our house, which is kind of far. We heard this person we'd never heard before in our life, and he was, I don't know what he was doing, but he was like yelling and moaning and just sort of, he was in such a distress. He was having one of those like just like freak out moments. And it scared my kids. It sounded kind of unnerving, honestly, because they could even sense there's like a scary, negative unbalance to this person's energy, and I could feel it too. And I tried to explain to my kids, listen, this is okay. This is not scary. This is someone over there, for whatever reason, having a very rough night, having a very rough day. And a lot of people, including us sometimes, don't really know how to deal properly. We weren't taught how to deal properly with accelerated change, transformation that is now being sort of, in a sense, imposed and forced upon us. We've been doing it. We're somewhat familiar and okay with it, even though we still fall. But many people are not. Many people have no idea what's happening. All they know is that they're losing a grip on their sense of stability and identity and perception of reality that's quickly changing. So if you find someone freaking out on the street or really just being kind of mean, a lot of times when people are going through this, they go to their resistance, and then consequently they lash out, they bark out. And it can be very uncomfortable, especially for you sensitive, empathic folks, to feel and bear the brunt of randomly. But one great way I found to not only diffuse that energy, to not pick it up and sort of come to peace with it, but also it's good for them as well, is to just have some patience. Have some patience for other people, because you know what they're going through. It's not easy. With that said, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. Much love to you. Have an amazing day. Peace.